Today is September 12th, 2024, and if you look up in that section, there are actual human beings. I don't think I've ever seen a human being on the U.S. Is it U.S. United States or USS United States? Anyway, I don't know if that's different. It doesn't matter. It's not going to exist much longer. This boat or ship was made by the same company that made the Titanic. It is the world's fastest cruise liner. It made a trip, a voyage from the United States to Europe in less than 4 days. No ship has ever has done that since. Tampa Jay told me something about this ship that it unlike cruise liners, the cruise liners they build today, they have to avoid stormy weather and choppy waves. This boat could drive through or sail through all types of awful weather. So that's been there for, I think, like 30 years. It's been on this dock. The people who owned the dock upped the rent to the people who owned the ship. And the people who owned the ship didn't agree to what the rent was. They never paid the rent difference. So they owe like, I think it's like millions of dollars. It could be hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. I think it might be hundreds of thousands. It's a lot of money. They owe a lot of money in rent. And today, the people who own the dock actually got to take ownership of the United States because you can't not pay your rent, unfortunately. And there's nothing. The ship itself is completely empty, and it's like, you know, there's nothing you can really do to it to make money. It would cost more money fixing it up that you would never return a profit. People talked about maybe maybe bringing it back, especially during like the height of the Titanic. Around the height of the Titanic movie, oh no, that was like around the early 2000s. There was a lot of Titanic hype, and you always heard rumors. Oh, they're gonna bring this back. They're gonna make it a boat, or they're gonna make it a restaurant, or make it a floating hotel. And what they're gonna do, actually, is really sad. Is they're gonna sink it, and it's gonna become a reef. Yeah, so something I see every day when I drive home from the Phillies game, I always drive past this ship. And it's so big, this ship, that when I sit in section 301, you can actually see the stacks, the smokestack, whatever they're called. What are those things called? I want to call them smokestacks. You can see them, and it's gonna. I know it's not exactly the skyline of Philadelphia, but it sort of is. The skyline of Philadelphia is going to change. And that's something I've come to terms with doing this channel, is things change all around the city. Things change in the city. They're always knocking down historical buildings, God, this one, they're just sinking a ship. And there are videos of it on YouTube. You can see people have gone inside. There's a lot of drone videos. And yeah, that's it. That's the USS of the United States. And pretty soon it's going to be a reef. Here we are, Willard Street. I can't believe I got you on Willard Street. This is where this is where my dad lived when he was a kid. Right here at this house, 610 Willard. And this was my grandmom's house. And when I was a kid, my grandmom used to get coal delivered. Remember I told you about the coal chutes?
Yeah.
And she would have a coal chute down here. And there was just one room in the basement where she would get the coal delivered down here. And that she had to get.
Was this where the chute was?
Yeah, they had to rebuild this window. The guy who's building the house, he's redoing the porch used to be wooden. Back in the day, everybody on this block had like a lamp like this. And you see there's some left on the block over there. It was like a big thing in the 90s. And you know, there's not many left. But yeah, it's a pretty good street. The people who live on the street are still from like, I think the people who live like over here, people who live next door, they've been here for like 40 years. And this is like
So you know a lot of people on the street?
I know, I mean, I don't know them personally, but yeah, I know them. They'll see me. Some of them see the videos. When I was a kid, my little brother, he lost his 2 front teeth on that front yard. I was baptized in that church right there, Ascension Church.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Man, that's cool, man.
But it's not.
So what age were you living here?
I lived there as like a baby from like 1 to 2. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I lived here from 1 to 2, and then we moved out of here. We moved to another, and then we moved to Port Richmond, which is the neighborhood next to here. So I lived here. I lived in Kensington. Then I moved to Port Richmond, and then I moved to Bridesburg. All 3 neighborhoods touch each other. I've never left like that 5-mile radius.
What area? Is this South Philly?
This is Kensington.
Is that South Philly?
Kensington is part of North Philly.
North Philly, okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. But you see, you'll go on YouTube and you'll see Kensington and you'll see everybody doing the Kensington lean.
Yeah.
And it's not all like that.
Right.
Some of it's nice. Like, it's not too bad here. It's a good block.
So you would consider this Kensington area?
This is Kensington, yeah. I used to come down here, go see Grandmom, and then go down the street here to the pizzeria, Mr. Coco's. And, yeah, man, it was just a regular neighborhood. There was a little bit of drugs, but nothing too bad. This is Ascension Church. The last time I was here, I saw some people walking around with some polo shirts and some tape measures. Yeah, so I don't know what the plan for this is. There's the old school. And sometime last year, there was a pretty big encampment in here. If you look back at the back part of the church, you can see there was a big fire. And wake up, kick ass, be kind, and repeat. I like that. Yeah, every time I come by here, I'm just going to take a little footage because I don't know how much time is left for Ascension. But it sure is sad seeing it like this. Are there any abandoned properties like this in Celebration?
Not in Celebration.
Is it,
In Orlando there are. Orlando, Kissimmee. You get outside the Celebration bubble, we call it.
Mm-hmm.
Got on Highway 192. There's some abandoned.
Oh, with the Florida Project and all that
right,
stuff.
that
Yeah.
Florida Project area.
How about the Catholic churches? Are Catholic churches big in Florida? Or
There's Catholic churches. I don't know.
do you have a lot of them closing down? See, the problem with Philadelphia is the Catholic churches. There's like 5 in every neighborhood.
Okay, yeah.
So they in the early 1900s, a lot of people were joining the church. They weren't expecting the big decline of like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s.
Yeah.
And they grew too big.
There's a lot of churches in Florida. The Bible, like what the part of the Bible Belt.
Yeah,
Florida,
yeah.
They consider part of the Bible Belt. That's more like the South.
Yeah.
A lot of churches in Florida, not just Catholic.
But you don't have a plague of abandoned churches.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. We have so many, and there was the There's a few. There's a few. So I'm making a vlog with Adam today. And we're doing some filming locations. You can check out Adam's channel. This is the church from the movie The Sixth Sense. It's really cool looking. I love looking at like churches. There's something special about the quiet. And there's comic book dorks, and then there's Disney dorks. Uh-oh.
I figured I should probably buy something from here. I mean, he was nice enough to...
Dude was super nice. This is Ontario Street Comics, and this is a filming location for the movie Unbreakable and Glass. Samuel L. Jackson did a scene in a wheelchair where he...
knocking her stuff over.
He comes over here. He's wheeling down and he knocks over some comic books. And if you come into the store, you can take your picture with the comic book held by Samuel L. Jackson. You just got to talk to the owner of the comic book store. Super nice guy. And also they filmed the movie Glass here. And if you stand here in the mirror, you could be just like Sarah Paulson. I know. But, yeah, so this is a filming location. It's in Port Richmond, not too far from Kensington Ave. And they filmed the movie Glass and Unbreakable. It's also, this is my favorite comic book store in the city. They have a thing every so often called Comic Book Day. So check them out on social media, Ontario Street Comics.